Swordsmen are easily some of the most badass characters in all of anime, and today I'm going to create the strongest swordsman ever, so strong that even the most debated swordsman in anime won't come close to touching a fraction of this power. Now, I gotta set some ground rules before we get wild with this build. If I didn't, I could just hand Zeno a kitchen knife, give him his reality warping powers, and call it a day. That's too easy. So here's the deal. My custom swordsman will have 5 abilities, each taken from a different anime universe also. I can't use light novel only or manga only abilities. Once I pick an ability from a specific anime, that entire universe is off limits for the rest of the build. And after I've crafted this monster of a swordsman, we'll put him to the test against some of the strongest sword users across anime. To get started, I need to pick 5 insane, overpowered abilities that'll make this character the undisputed king of blades. And for the first one, trust me, it's something you'll never see coming. I'm picking one of the most overpowered abilities in all of anime, Advanced Observation Haki. Now, I already hear some of you saying that's not even that strong. And sure, maybe compared to some flashy powers, it doesn't look as crazy. But hear me out. Advanced Observation Haki lets you see into the future. A perfect example, Shanks versus Kid. And yeah, I know there are other anime powers that do something similar, some even add cool extras, but this is where Advanced Observation Haki really shines. Unlike most future-seeing abilities, it doesn't drain your energy, doesn't shorten your life, and it doesn't leave you weak after using it. You just see what's about to happen. No crazy trade-offs, no big drawbacks, just raw prediction power. I'm not saying it's flawless because it does have limits, but for a technique that gives you a glimpse into what's next without any major cost, this ability is way more powerful than people give it credit for. Now for the second ability, and trust me, this one is crazy strong. The skill is called Divine Reflection, and it belongs to none other than Adam, the first man himself. Here's what makes it so overpowered. Adam can copy any move he sees, not just copy it, but perfectly mirror it. No matter how strong, fast, or secret the technique is, if Adam sees it once, he can pull it off flawlessly. Sometimes even better than the original user. He even copied Zeus's time stop punch and sent it right back at him. That's how busted this power is. Now sure, it has one drawback. There's a limit to how much his body can handle, but I'm not too worried about that for my character. Unlike Adam, my swordsman won't be fighting barehanded, so he won't take the same level of damage. The only reason Adam lost to Zeus was because the fight turned into a full-on brawl, and let's be real, Adam's still human. But the skill itself, absolutely broken. For the third ability, I'm picking something that perfectly complements the first two. Since my swordsman already has future sight and a copy-paste power, the next ability I'm adding is Thought Acceleration, a skill used by some of the strongest characters. In that time, I got reincarnated as a slime. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't Thought Acceleration kind of the same as Advanced Observation Haki? Not exactly. Here's the difference. Advanced Observation Haki lets you see the future, basically predicting where and when an attack is coming. Thought Acceleration, on the other hand, boosts how fast you can think and react. That's why this combo is so powerful. In One Piece, there are times when even people with future sight couldn't dodge attacks fast enough, like when Kaido blitzed Luffy in Wano and Luffy said Kaido's punch was just too fast. But with Thought Acceleration, problem solved. Now my character wouldn't just see the attack coming, they'd have the mental speed to actually react in time and dodge or counter. No more getting caught off guard. The next ability I'm giving our swordsman is the legendary full counter from 7 Deadly Sins. But hold up, I'm not picking Meliodas' version. I'm going with Chandler's full counter. In case you don't know, Chandler is basically Meliodas' master, and his version can reflect both magical and physical attacks. Now you might ask, why add this if your character already has Divine Reflection? Great question. And here's the answer. Most anime swordsmen can launch crazy powerful long-range attacks. With full counter, my swordsman can just send those attacks flying right back twice as strong. No need to always use Divine Reflection. So whether the fight is close up or from a distance, our swordsman is totally stacked. He's got the tools to handle anything that comes his way without breaking a sweat. For the final ability, I'm going with something that will make sure my character is almost impossible to kill. Regeneration. And whose regeneration am I picking? That's easy. Majin Buu. There are lots of anime characters with healing powers, but none of them come close to Buu. As long as even one tiny piece of him is left, he can fully heal himself. Sure, there are limits to it, but honestly, this kind of regen is just crazy strong. With this power, taking damage won't even matter that much. Unless the enemy can completely destroy every atom of his body, they're not going to stop him. Good luck with that. Alright, now that we've locked in the 5 overpowered abilities, it's time to move on to traits. This is where we turn our swordsman into the perfect beast by giving him the most broken stats possible. Let's not waste any time. To kick things off, I need to choose a race for my character. And you already know I'm going all in. Todd is going to be a Saiyan, one of the most broken races in all of anime. From insane power boost to planet-shattering transformations, Saiyans are just built different. Now you're probably wondering, why a Saiyan? Honestly, because if I'm making the strongest swordsman ever, I might as well start with a race known for turning fights into fireworks shows. And the name Todd? Well, it just adds flavor. Nothing's more dangerous than a chill name hiding ridiculous power. But don't get it twisted. Todd may look like your everyday Saiyan, but the stuff I've got planned for him, it's going to blow your scouter off. Things are about to get way crazier from here. For the strength category, Todd may be human, but his physical power is on a whole other level. He's way stronger than any normal person, so strong that he can pull off insane feats no regular guy could even dream of. To give you a better idea of just how strong Todd is, I'd compare him to Mash Burn Dead from Mashal, Magic and Muscles. Mash does wild stuff like staying in the air just by kicking his legs super fast. Yep, he literally kicks the air hard enough to float, kind of like a mashup of Magic and Saitama level power. That's the kind of raw strength we're giving Todd. For durability, there's one character that instantly comes to mind. This guy is so tough that he's never been hurt, not even flinched, from any attack thrown at him. And that ultra-durable character is none other than Saitama from One Punch Man. Now, let's be real. What I just said about Saitama never taking damage in his own show is 100% true. It's not cap at all. The man tanks every hit like it's nothing. He doesn't block, dodge, or brace himself. He just stands there, stone-faced and completely chill. We've seen him survive punches that launched him to the moon, hits that are basically like black holes, and still, Saitama walks away without a scratch. The only thing that ever gets damaged is his clothes. That's the kind of insane durability I'm giving Todd. One of the most crucial traits to have is Aiki, because this decides how good your character is at thinking fast, figuring out tough situations, and coming up with smart strategies. Now as for Todd, he's smart as heck. If I had to compare Todd's IQ to an anime character, it would be none other than Light Yagami from Death Note. Now I know Light is more of the I outsmarted you're outsmarting while writing in a hidden notebook type of genius, but that's exactly the level of brainpower Todd's bringing to the table. With an IQ over 200, Todd is dangerously smart. On the battlefield, he'll outthink, outplan, and outmaneuver just about anyone in his path. Next, we have Battle IQ, which is easily one of the most important traits for any fighter, especially swordsmen. Battle IQ is all about how fast a character can think during a fight and how well they can adjust or grow stronger as the fight goes on. Take Luffy, for example. He was able to learn and adapt mid-battle during his insane fight with Kaido. Now, when it comes to Todd, his battle IQ is on the same level as one of the most underrated characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, Aoi Todo. Well, I don't know if Todo is actually underrated, but let's be honest, people don't talk about him enough. So why Todo? The answer is simple. The way he figured out how Hanami's cursed buds worked in just seconds, while also running an imaginary cutscene in his mind, is pure genius. That one moment alone is why I'm giving Todd Todo tier battle IQ. No other explanation needed. Next up, we have speed, and let's be real, this category is super important because speed makes swordsmen way more dangerous. I mean, just look at most anime sword fights. 9 times out of 10, they're lightning fast and absolutely amazing to watch. Speed adds that wow factor and can even make the difference between winning and losing in a fight. So, when it comes to Todd's speed, I'm basing him off one of the fastest characters in anime, Yoruichi from Bleach. Now, I don't even need to go deep into why I picked her. Her nickname, Goddess of Flash, pretty much says it all. If Todd is moving anywhere close to her level, then believe me, you're not even going to see his sword swings coming. Lastly, to finish off Todd's stats, we've got endurance, and for this one, we need to give him the guts to keep fighting no matter what. And yes, I mean that both literally and as a pun. Get it? If you didn't already know, Guts from Berserk is basically a walking tank. This guy fights through some of the most painful bone-crushing injuries and survives the harshest conditions using nothing but pure willpower. He never backs down, no matter how bad things get. That's why Guts is the perfect inspiration for Todd's endurance stat. Now for weapons, because let's be honest, Todd can't be a swordsman without a sword. But the real question is, which sword should he use? I mean, anime has a whole arsenal of god-tier blades, like Yamamoto's Ryujin Jaka that can set the world on fire, or the legendary Tesega that slays 100 demons in one swing. But for Todd, I'm going with Anos Voldigoad's Venus Donoa, and trust me, this sword is on a whole different level. Venus de Noah is so broken. This sword can erase anything from existence, no matter how powerful the target is. It doesn't care if you're immortal, made of pure energy, or some ancient god. If Venus de Noah cuts you, you're gone. It's literally called the sword that denies all reason. And honestly, I can't think of a better weapon for Todd, the most broken swordsman ever created. Okay, now that I'm done setting up all of Todd's abilities and traits, it's time to put him to the test, and let's see how he holds up against the strongest swordsman in all of anime. For the first fight, we've got Todd versus Mihawk, and this one's interesting because honestly, we don't know everything Mihawk can do. What we do know is already insane. The guy can slice through ships and even icebergs with just one swing of his sword. That's wild. But even if Mihawk pulls off some crazy new move mid-fight, Todd can copy it right away thanks to his divine reflection ability. Still, this isn't an easy win for Todd. Remember, Mihawk holds the title of the world's strongest swordsman, and that's not something you just brush off. That said, Todd's got more than just copy powers. He's rocking regeneration, full counter, and thought acceleration, which means he can heal fast, reflect attacks, and react even faster. With all that stacked together, Todd's got the upper hand and can totally take the win here. And yeah, I'm only this confident because we don't fully know Mihawk's limits, but based on Todd's stats and abilities, I'm calling it. Todd takes the W and snags that title. Now for the second fight, we've got Todd versus Ichigo, and this one's about to be a full-blown disaster. Why? Because Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho is basically his way of saying, screw everything in that direction, and he spams that move every single time. But lucky for us, Todd is built different and has a counter for everything Ichigo throws his way. Todd's got two options here. First, he can just copy Ichigo's whole moveset using divine reflection. Yup, even Getsuga Tenshu would become Todd's weapon. Or second, he can simply reflect every one of Ichigo's attacks back at him using full counter with double the impact. Heck, Todd could even use both at the same time, along with thought acceleration and regen to completely overwhelm Ichigo. Honestly, Todd's toolbox is way too stacked for Ichigo to handle, unless he pulls off some power of friendship miracle. And let's face it, Todd doesn't do friendship power-ups. So yeah, Todd is absolutely taking the W in this fight too. For the third and final fight, we've got Todd versus Future Trunks, and let me tell you right now, Todd is not losing to Future Trunks, not even by a long shot. Now to be fair, Future Trunks is a beast of a swordsman. He's taken on the androids, sliced Frieza in half like it was nothing, and even held his own against Cell. On top of all that, he's wielded the legendary Z-Sword, which is said to give a massive power boost to whoever pulls it from its resting place. Oh, and let's not forget, he's also a Saiyan, meaning he gets stronger after every battle. So yeah, it might seem like the odds are stacked against Todd here, but you'd be dead wrong. Even without using any abilities, Todd's base stats are insane, and he's got enough power to go toe-to-toe with Future Trunks. But once Todd taps into his skills, the fight turns into a one-sided beatdown. Divine Reflection alone lets him copy every move and transformation Trunks uses. Just like how Adam in Record of Ragnarok copied Zeus's time-stopping punch before it could even land, Todd would do the same here, but even better. So, in the end, Todd walks away with the W again, and this fight becomes another win for the strongest swordsman in anime history. So what do you think? Is this the strongest swordsman in all of anime, or can you create a stronger character? Let us know in the comments. And if you like what you're seeing, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on that notification bell for more videos like this one.